Hey, what's up, friends? I'm Arkuri the Collector, and for today's unboxing, we're going to have this Dennis. As you already know, I'm a big fan of Demon Layer, and that's why we're going to do this unboxing of Vaprito. Honestly, it's a very unconventional figure. It just came out, and there aren't many like this with this shape or design. And if you look here, it says OK Post. So to kick off this new Ben Presto unboxing, we're going to go ahead and check out the figure, the details, my comments, and everything you need to know about this new Vaprito. What's interesting about all these pieces that just came out is that now we're actually going to have two editions. You can see it here on this side of the box. Notice we have one with a slightly more vibrant color, and over here we have a color that's a bit more muted, which is the one we have in our piece. And I'm going to show you what we're going to unbox. Let me introduce you to Metroid Prime, the Varia suit of Samus Aran here on the Darkoburi channel. And now, let's start the unboxing as it deserves, with a collector's item, the deluxe edition of the Varia suit of Samus Aran from Metroid Prime 2, which is Metroid Echoes. If you remember, Metroid has had quite a few releases, especially in the Nintendo saga, since it's a Nintendo exclusive. But honestly, in my personal opinion, I feel like they haven't really taken full advantage of the character of Samus Aran. At the beginning of the Metroid series, when we were on the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System, we had a character that we didn't know who it was. It was just a suit, and it fit the character really well. Why? Because whether you were a man or a woman, you played as that character, and honestly, it was surprising to find out at the end that it was a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. It's actually amazing to see women in this world, especially with so much action. Let's remember, she's a bounty hunter, someone who goes after bounties, traveling in her spaceship, a very unique and impressive ship, and her suit has a lot of powers. That's why our friends at First 4 Figures decided to release this edition, the standard version and the deluxe version of this Varia suit. We call this suit the Varia suit, the one Samus wears. It's the iconic suit we've seen in almost every Metroid game. The first thing that stands out is that the box is in full color, with some really awesome colors. Honestly, if you can see it here, it's fantastic. On the front, we have Samus's suit, and here on the edge, you can see it's Samus. Varia Samus is the name of the heroine for those who don't know. Everyone calls her Metroid, but she's not Metroid. The same thing happens with our hero Link in The Legend of Zelda. Everyone who isn't a fan of the franchise calls the hero of time Zelda when it's actually Link. Let's not get confused here. The video game is called Metroid, but she is Samus, and this is the suit, the Varia suit. We're just giving you a little taste here. Whether you're a fan of the franchise or not, play it. Honestly, it's awesome. Here we have the name of the video game where this suit comes from, which is Metroid Prime 2. Obviously the second installment that came out around the time of the Wii or close to the GameCube, and it's called Echoes. Over here we have the name of the franchise that brings us this piece, First 4 Figures. If you look here, we have the back of the figure. It's Metroid, obviously. Here we have some notes from our friends at First 4 Figures. This is the deluxe edition, the collector's edition. Here I'm going to show you all the text that comes with it. I'll leave it up for a bit so you can read it yourselves. We know it's an American company. Take your time and read it carefully. There's no rush. But let's see what this part tells us about why it's the deluxe edition, and we'll confirm it once we do the unboxing. There were only 2,100 pieces of this made worldwide, which honestly, the folks at First 4 Figures sometimes surprise me and sometimes they don't, because they do reruns or re-release the piece if it was, you know, a home run for them. But this one is limited to 2,100 pieces. I got number 1985, just one more and it would have been my birth year, 1986. We have the Nintendo logos. Obviously, as I told you, it's a Nintendo franchise, my barcode, first 4 figures, and finally, I'll turn it around here, which is once again the front part of Metroid, the front of Samus Aran's Varia suit. And that's all there is to see here, just the top part with the name of the video game. Play it, download it. It's definitely worth playing Metroid Prime 1 first, and then we move on to Metroid Prime 2. Now, let's take everything out. Let's analyze the piece so you can see it in detail here on the Darkoburi channel. I'll briefly show you how the piece comes packaged. As you can see, it comes in this dry foam, and the first and only thing that stands out is this little first 4 figures notice that gives you very simple steps to buy your piece, which, to me, seems kind of obvious since I already bought one. And over here, we have the Alphonse Elric that we already unboxed, and both versions have arrived, the gray and the silver one. Let's set that aside, it's not really useful right now, and let's see how well our friends at First 4 Figures packed this part. You can see the Varia suit of Samus, and here it says this side down. I took a little risk, but it's fine, there's not much movement, nothing's going to happen to the piece. It's just so you can see how it comes, perfectly packed from the base to the top of the suit. Here, as you can see, it says First 4 Figures Samus Varia suit. And this is how the card comes. Remember, these pieces always come with a card, and on the back it says register your piece. Obviously, you take the number that comes here on the front, register your piece, and on the First 4 Figures portal, you can see all the figures that belong to you, which, of course, you'll find under Darkoburi without any problem. By the time you're watching this video, I've already registered it, so please, don't try this at home, don't try this at home. And now I'll show you the card in detail. We've already taken out all the pieces that came inside the styrofoam box of our Samus Varia suit from First 4 Figures. Honestly, I was surprised that there are so few pieces. It really builds a colossal figure with just a few parts. First, let's start with the base. Down here, as you can see, is the name of the piece, our Nintendo seal, and the name of the video game. What's interesting here is that they tell us these deluxe collector's editions have the number handwritten on the base, which matches exactly with the box. If you remember, it's 1985 out of 2,100 pieces. But honestly, they really went all out with the base too. Let's take a look over here. You can see Samus's logo. This one's so huge that it's also given us quite a few powers in Smash Brothers. If you remember what the power was, leave it in the comments. Honestly, it was a really useful power that lasted for a short period of time, but they really nailed it with this one. As you can see, it's pretty awesome. And over here, this is where we're going to place our piece. It has the on-off button, obviously, because we have a cable here to connect it. And if you look closely, here's where our cable connects. The other thing we should check on the outside is the card on the back, which has a message. It's a certificate of authenticity showing that your piece is original from First 4 Figures. And honestly, I always collect these. I'd shown you the one from Majora's Mask. We had the Link and the Zelda, which came out as a duo set together. And I have the Link separately. Of course, the Alphonse, the RC, we're going to have too. And there are also more First 4 Figures pieces coming out, and as they are released, we'll be doing the unboxing here on the Darkoburi channel. The other thing that comes with the base before placing our figure is this huge battery. If you look, it's a rechargeable battery that our friends at First 4 Figures included for us. Down here at the bottom is the opening, and the cover also has the First 4 Figures logo. Among the other pieces that came here in the box is the weapon. If you notice, Samus's weapon comes separately, and the main piece, which is a single piece, let's take a look at it. Here is our complete Samus. Here we have the base. If you notice, there were only 2 holes here, both go into a single foot, and the other foot, as you can see, doesn't have anything. It's completely smooth. But this is a work of art. They told us that this deluxe edition comes with slightly better colors than the standard editions. It's a bit tricky to insert, and I actually like that because it means the piece, with a few gentle taps, stays firmly in the base. The depth is just right so there's no movement, and the figure looks absolutely amazing. In a moment, I'm going to attach the weapon so we can see everything our Samus figure will have. See, the piece fits right here. Let's hold it, and this is the complete assembly of the figure, just like it shows in the photo on the box. Now, I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this character because in Smash Bros. 64, I used to pick Pikachu, and my brother, okay, let's mute this so I can say all the curse words I want in this half a second. He would pick Samus, and honestly, we used to have some really epic, intense battles with this character. If you remember that symbol that came out of the S, what it let you do was perform upward attacks and grab your opponent, a move that Samus had. Of course, she had her cannon that you could charge up. I'm talking about the first version, the one for Nintendo 64, because later on, in the next version, she could launch missiles. But this character, let's say, was light, didn't jump very high. Pikachu could jump a lot more. Let me know in the comments which character you picked in the Nintendo 64 version of Super Smash Bros. And also, if you want to throw down with the great Darkoburi, I'll pick Pikachu and honestly, I'm unstoppable. We're going to have some matches with friends from Darkoburi's channel, but now let's really focus on the full description of Samus. It's all set up now, this is how the piece looks, and this is how it'll be displayed in the museum. Notice that it's a really good size. I'd estimate it's about 60 centimeters or so. So it's an awesome piece. It's about the same height as the other pieces. I think it's just a little bit smaller than the Alphonse Elric. But honestly, it's super cool to be able to talk about Metroid Prime, which is the video game, and about Samus, who is the character and is a woman. Really, it's a hugely successful franchise, like I've told you, but they haven't really taken full advantage of it. She almost always, here comes the spoiler alert section, she almost always arrives on some inhospitable land, gets a call, is looking for something, searching in Metroid to destroy it, but she always ends up on some planet. Something happens, her ship gets damaged, starts falling apart, something happens to it, and she also loses her suit. The idea is that you go about rebuilding your suit. She always arrives super powerful and then loses all those super powerful parts. And then she gets them back. That's basically what a Metroid Prime is in 5 seconds. The games are more exciting, more awesome. If you notice, at first, on her face, she has the yellow visor, which in the early games didn't let us see who the main character was. That was the cool part. Then she has the full helmet, which has a lot of attachments and some respirators. If you look here at the neck, you can see the tubes that are part of the suit. It's a really complete suit. Remember, she's a bounty hunter who goes from planet to planet. So now we're talking about space travel, which means she can't leave anything exposed. That's what's unique about Samus. Her suit is totally sealed, from head to toe, completely closed. And the cool part is, it has red accents here on the chest, and it's complemented on the torso. All this yellow. If you look from the torso and the inside of the legs, it's all yellow, and the rest is orange. There's this combination of orange and yellow. If you look at the legs, there's this yellow detail. It's super cool. Remember, it's a suit of space bioengineering and all that. It has some support parts for when there's more or less gravity on a planet. If you look, there are supports at the hips, at the knees on both sides, and obviously, there's support for the hands, and the whole back of the armor, in case she needs it for technical gravity issues. This support, almost like propulsion, is what completes Samus's suit, and everything else here is the yellow colors. If you look, everything here really looks like engineering. It's super cool. It's a really complete suit. But when she lands on a planet, like I mentioned, there are some parts of the suit that she loses, especially the power-ups. All those attachments that give her more power or allow the suit to do different things. One of the main things, as we've seen in all the Metroid games, is that she can turn into a small sphere, really tiny, and she can move into different places, squeeze into tight spots, or magnetize herself. Sometimes she has to travel along the ceiling and there's only a rail. She turns into a little ball, can bounce from side to side, or even drop bombs of that same size. The suit is super complete. It has a lot of features, a lot of gadgets. And like I said in my Metroid Prime 2 review, at first you only have a weapon that can shoot white light and dark light, which at the beginning is kind of boring, a bit slow. But then you'd get the light beam, the light suit, the dark suit, which are also super cool. The last thing left to see is the weapon. If you notice, it's a green colored weapon. The first thing you can do is charge up energy, make small shots. As you can see, it looks like a totally awesome weapon. Here you have the part where you can see what helps you with the visor, which can identify whether they're creatures using thermal vision or normal vision, or even long distance vision. And here is the suit. If you notice, we complement it with some giant shoulder pads on each limb, and the part that comes here from the shoulder is identical to the part we saw here on the legs. All of this looks like it helps her make all these movements, carry things, and beyond that, we just see the hands, the green color here with two small green wheels, and that's what completes our Samus and Varia suit. And finally, if you notice, I mentioned it had a battery, and it has a rechargeable battery with a USB cable. I left it charging over there while we were doing the unboxing, while I was describing our Varia suit. And this deluxe collector's edition is just amazing. Now, let's press the magic button so you can see firsthand what happens with the suit when it's fully powered on. Let's check it out. As you can see, the whole visor starts lighting up, the weapon over here lights up, and another cool thing is that both sides of the legs also light up. You can see all these grooves that go from the foot up, and even though you can't see it up close, the shoulder pads on this side also light up in this green color, and each part in the groove, I'll show you with a photo in a bit, lights up here. Let's see how it turns on, and I'll turn it off so you can see the whole thing. Now, pay attention to the jet area here. You can see the light turns on here too. Now let's look at the other side so you can appreciate how the weapon lights up and how it turns on. Notice the chest, visor, and side parts all light up. And check out this part of the weapon. Focus your attention here. Let's turn off the light and turn it back on again. I'll leave it here so you can watch. Even the top part of the weapon lights up. Let me show you a bit. Look at it, appreciate it, and finally, there you have the figure all lit up. Honestly, it's meant to be displayed like this, all lit up, but I don't want to wear out my figure by turning it on and off too much. And lastly, if you look here at the hand, that's the last part that lights up when you turn it off and on. Honestly, it's a real collector's piece. We've done the unboxing of another figure that also lit up. If you remember PRI Studio, the liquid phoenix that would light up, that phoenix was super cool. One of you gave me a tip because my phoenix would turn on and off really quickly, and you told me that's not normal. Try doing this. I really appreciate the tip. Anything you guys know that can help the community, leave it in the comments. Honestly, we're a pretty big and tight-knit community. Now I'll leave you to check out the full video review of this piece, and if you like this video, give it a like, share it, and turn on the notification bell. Remember, we're on all social networks. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Medium. Check out each and every one of them. And don't forget to subscribe because we have even cooler unboxings coming up. And also, make sure to check out the Darkoburi store. That's where you can find mugs, keychains, thermoses, Darkoburi collectibles, as well as amazing figures. Go check it out right away so you can get a bunch of figures from the Darkoburi line. Also, drop us a direct message if you want to get any of these pieces. We can let you know through Dark Variety News about all the pieces that are coming up for pre-order, whether they're from our friends at Zimi, Fair for Figures, or Hasbro, which has a lot of really great figures. We post all of that on our social networks, so go check them out. Leave a comment, give us a like, hit the heart if you love it, share all our posts, and give us that Kaburi pin OU.